Hello, my name is Adam and we are team TURING from section 1 of software construction. In this video, we will be demonstrating our work for assignment 2 of software construction, where we have to pick one application to apply the framework and RESTful web services. Now we will have Labib to introduce our members.
So let us meet with the team members. Abu Tala leading the team, Akem Shafin Alam, Islam Mahmudul, Labib Hassan, myself, and Atom Hakim.
So this is the link of our coding. So for the front end and the back end link is given. Anyone can access our front end and back end using this link. And now I'm going to talk about the student management system, setting up the framework front end. So step one, we have created our project, a React project using npm, and we have installed necessary dependencies, which is AJAX and React router DOM. AJAX is for making HTTP request to the backend, and React router is for navigation between different component pages in the application.
We set up the API calls to the backend services using Axios, because for our backend, we are using a separate repository, and for our front end, we are using a separate repository. And lastly, we created React components for each functionality, and we made different pages with React.
Next, we will going to set up our backend. For this, firstly, we initialize a node.js project using npm int y. Then we install necessary dependencies like Express, that is a framework for node.js. Then Firebase admin to interact with Firebase Firestore, and then body parses incoming request bodies, making it easier to handle from submission and JSON payloads. And then is course enable communication between the front end, potentially running on a different domain and the backend.
We configure Firebase admin SDK with service account key, which we'll show later, and we define RESTful API routes for CRUD operations. And by doing all this, we set up the framework for the backend.
So post are the adds new student to the Firestore database and get to retrieve students' detail by the NIC.
So the CRUD operation is for the mainly for the Firestore. So the patch is used for update the student details using NIC, and the delete method is used to delete the student record from the Firestore using the NIC.
So basically, the app will have 5 functionalities, and 2 of them should be done using RESTful web services. Our app does 4 of the functionality with using RESTful web services, and these are the functionalities. We are doing CRUD operations with Firestore. Now I'm going to show you the environment, the framework, and the code. So our projects are available on public repositories on GitHub. This is the repository for our front end, where we used React, and this is the repository for the back end, where we use Node.js, Express, and Firestore. So let me show you how we set up the framework. First of all, we set up the framework of the front end using CRA, React CRA, which is the Create React app. This can be implemented to create a React app very easily, and it's very easy to maintain. All the dependencies and everything. We also set up our Firestore for the database. As we can see that here, the Firestore has some dummy data. This is our official database, and we will be accessing this database using our backend. So the backend code is available over here. The backend is made using an Express server. The server, as you can see, is running on port 8080. So this server is connected to the database with this file. This is our private data file in order to access data from the database. The Firebase admin.js file requires this file in order to make a connection with the database. And in the server.js, we use Express as the server, and we use RESTful API web services in order to do CRUD applications. For example, here create a new student is done using post, get a new student is done using get, patch is done using update is done using patch, and delete is done using delete. Now this is just the back end. Let me show you the front end of our code. The front end of our code, um, here the front end of our code contains React pages and components, and it also contains the React router DOM in order to route through the correct pages. The API calls here, as you can see, access the port 8080, and our server is running on port 8080, the database server. We are using Axios, since the front end and the back end of the project are separate. As you can see, we are using Axios for post call, get call, delete call, and batch call. Let me show you the demo of our project now. So our project has 5 functionalities. One of these functionality is login and log out. As we can see, we can log in and log out of the system pretty easily. Then the rest operations, the submit student or add student, get student, update student, and delete student, are all done using the RESTful API web services. If you want to submit a student, we just click on it, enter the NIC number, and just fill in the details. And we check out in order to see what if everything is correct, and we submit student. When we submit student, the student successfully is submitted to the database. Now you can see that the student is submitted to the database, right? We can also go back and access the students details by their NIC number. As we can see, we get this from the database, successfully retrieved from the database. We can also delete the student permanently. For example, if we just put in the NIC number and just go delete student, and this student will be deleted from the database. Now we can see that we can no longer retrieve the student, and we can also update student details. We can update the student details. For example, let's say this person has, his name is John Doe, but we will change his name to Jane Doe. We will keep everything the same. We'll check out and update details, and we can see that it's successfully updated in the database. All of this are done using RESTful API services. So that will be our system, the 5 functionalities, and how we use the RESTful API web services. Thank you.